So, what are the main aims of sustainable development, especially in higher education, and what is the council doing to help them?
Well, for me personally, I think sustainable development is the heart of what we will do because it's about the future. It's about creating a world where young people can live and live sustainably, that we don't degrade the environment, that we have people that learn how to live with each other and how to live with each other comfortably. I think that's really important. The research that universities do, they're talking about new technologies, but also about the social sciences, about how people behave, and the artists expressing what we want as a society, our norms and values. All of that comes together in a university. And of course what we do have, and most importantly, is that real creative drive and enthusiasm from students. Because for them, of course, this is really important. For older people like me, who are not going to be around for so long, it's of less importance. But for the students, you can see how inspired they are by this agenda, and it's not really surprising. And I think the role of the council is simply to help universities and students release that enthusiasm and creativity as much as we can. It comes from the students and from the universities.
And what are some of the challenges that you've encountered?
I think the biggest challenge actually is that people of my generation don't get it as much as students do. And what is now mainstream establishment thinking, sustainable development, I would say, is mainstream establishment thinking for young people. For older people, they're still sort of in the land of hippies and those kinds of things. And the world's moved on. Sustainable development isn't a fringe activity, it's a mainstream activity, and we have to get it right for future generations.
And how do you highlight the social and the economic as well as the environmental? Because sometimes when we think about sustainability, we only think about so much more than that.
Well, I was talking to a student just now, and the key motivator for him was clearly economic. He saved energy, which meant that he saved £800 in a year. Can you believe that? £800. Now that's a big economic driver. So with energy prices going up, of course, there's a big economic driver involved here. And the way that resources are distributed, I mean, you could argue that's always been an issue, but on a global scale, climate change is differentially affecting those countries that are poorer than the richer countries. So it's a big social issue here. I think if you look at the way that people behave, that's social sciences. And one of the big things about reducing carbon, for instance, is about getting people to change their behaviours in little ways. I mean, we all now think it's straightforward to do recycling, didn't we? I can remember a time when that wasn't the case and people objected strongly. So understanding how people behave, understanding what it takes to change that behaviour is an important part of the whole agenda. You can't separate them, social, economic, environmental, they're inextricably linked. It's starting to roll. And I think the momentum that it has will be self-perpetuating. And of course, the university here is really incredibly supportive, and I think they want to pursue this agenda really well as well. And I understand that they've just introduced an elective on sustainable development. That means any student can choose to study this area, whatever else they're studying. It's fantastic.